This is Commercial Transformation, the podcast exploring how modern businesses redesign their commercial systems to scale, adapt, and perform. From strategy to execution, structure to flow, we break down what actually drives sustainable growth. Produced by B10.
Welcome back to the Commercial Transformation Podcast. My name's Aidan, and I am the founder and managing director of B10, a commercial transformation consultancy. Let's dive in. Let me ask you a direct question. Does your business have a CRM, a marketing platform, a website, some form of automations, and maybe analytics? If the answer to most of those is yes, and for most B2B businesses it is, then I want you to hold a second question alongside it. Is each of those tools commercially configured to perform? And are they working together as a connected commercial system? Because those are two very different questions. And the gap between them is where most of the $2.3 trillion in estimated failed digital transformation costs sits. $2.3 trillion. Today, I want to talk to you about the difference between digital transformation and commercial transformation. Not because it is a semantic decision, because it is one of the most commercially consequential distinctions in B2B businesses right now. These are not two names for the same thing. They are different disciplines, different questions with different outcomes. And confusing them or assuming one substitutes for the other is one of the most expensive mistakes a commercial leader can make. Let me define them both precisely. Digital transformation is the process of getting technology tools in place and connected. The CRM is implemented and integrated. The marketing platform is live. The website is built, indexed, and loading. The automation workflows are running, and the data is flowing between the systems. When digital transformation is executed well, it does exactly that. The infrastructure is present, the tools are connected, and then, 12 months later, the commercial metrics haven't moved. Because digital transformation was never asked the question that determines whether these tools perform commercially. It confirmed they exist. It did not confirm they are commercially configured. This is the distinction I want to make absolutely clear. Having a CRM is not the same thing as having a CRM built around a sales framework that actually converts. Having a marketing platform is not the same thing as having a marketing system that is targeting a validated ideal customer profile. Having a website is not the same thing as having a website with commercial conversion architecture. Having automation is not the same thing as having automation that is executing a commercially designed process. Having a positioning statement is not the same thing as positioning that differentiates in a crowded market. The tool is present. The commercial configuration is absent. That is the problem. And digital transformation, by design, does not fix it. The data on digital transformation failure is not ambiguous. Boston Consulting Group analyzed over 850 companies. Only 35% of digital transformation programs reached their stated goals. McKinsey's research consistently puts the failure rate at 70%. Bain's 2024 analysis shows that 88% of business transformations fail to achieve their original ambitions. 88%. Nearly 9 out of 10. Not because the technology failed to do what it was specified to do, but because the commercial architecture the technology was applied to was never assessed. The ICP was assumed rather than validated. The sales framework was informal rather than designed. The positioning did not differentiate. The pricing had not been reviewed in years, and the retention mechanics, they were reactive rather than engineered. The tools digitized what was already there. What was already there was not built to perform. Commercial transformation is a discipline that addresses that. It is the audit, the redesign, the optimization of the commercial engine, from first click to recurring revenue. Not whether the tools are present, whether each tool is commercially configured and performing, and whether all of them are working together as a connected commercial system. At B10, we built the Commercial Transformation Index. This makes the assessment structured and measurable. The CTI covers 10 commercial domains, from first click to recurring revenue. It covers website, CRM, marketing, operations, automation, sales framework, ICP, positioning, pricing strategy, and retention and customer success. Each domain is scored, not for whether the component exists, but for whether it is commercially performing, and critically, whether it is connected to the other 9 as part of a coherent commercial system. The pattern we see consistently, and I mean consistently, is this. Organizations with most or all of the tools in place, moderate to low CTI scores. Because the tools are present, but not commercially configured, the ICP is assumed rather than validated from closed-won data. The sales framework is a set of informal habits rather than a designed conversion system. The CRM reflects those habits rather than a defined commercial process. The positioning blends into the market rather than differentiating from it. The automation is executing a process that was never assessed for commercial performance. Every domain present, every domain underperforming. Not a technology problem, a commercial architecture problem. The correct sequence is straightforward once you understand the distinctions. Commercial transformation comes first. The CTI assessment maps the current state across all 10 domains. Commercial architecture is defined what each domain needs to look like at target performance. Then the technology decisions follow from that architecture. Not which CRM, but what sales framework does the CRM need to serve? Not which marketing platform, but what is the validated ICP it needs to target? Not does the website need a redesign, but what does this commercial conversion require of it? Commercial architecture first. Technology in service of that architecture, not the other way around. The infrastructure can only perform as well as the commercial model it is built to serve. Run your CTI assessment at b10hub.com, b10hub.com, and find out which of the 10 domains is suppressing your commercial engine before the next investment decision. Until next time.
You've been listening to Commercial Transformation, produced by B10. If this episode was useful, follow the podcast for future conversations on building better commercial systems.